Hello guys, and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today, we're covering one of our newer obsessions, which is Silver Bayonet. Sparks and I discovered this recently-ish. He's had the rulebook sat there for a while, but only recently have we discovered some models that we really like the look of, and kind of got into it. Yeah, Peachy, slightly to blame, darn you Peachy. But today, we're looking at the British unit, which is mine. I will be featuring these alongside my 95th Rifleman, which I got from War Games Atlantic. I've either put a video up for that already, or there's a video going up very shortly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the table and we're going to go have a look at it. So here we have this. This is the British unit. They are metal. It's a war game of Napoleonic Gothic horror. We are going to be doing a full look into the rules, kind of like we did with Achtung Panzer. Yes, that's the one. Because that video seemed to be quite well received. And we just kind of want to draw more attention to this game. It's a smaller game. As I mentioned, we kind of got reintroduced to it via Peachy's videos. There's a couple of others online who've done some really, really good ones. I think Guerrilla Miniatures. Is it Guerrilla Game Miniatures? Whatever they're called. With Ash. They did a really, really good series on it. I'm kind of re-diving back into it. I keep saying it's a new game. It's not. We've just newly discovered it. It's about 3 years old, I think. But anyway, these models are by North Star. These are the models that you get within the set. You get 8 models. You get an officer, a Highlander, a light infantryman, an artilleryman, a doctor, a rifleman, a supernatural investigator, and a vampire hunter. And now each of these, as I said, are metal, and they have a lot of character to them. So we're going to pop them open and have a look. So it comes in this cool little, it's basically a sleeve with a box inside. I will have to use the old cheeky craft knife to open this up. I know what people say, you shouldn't cut towards yourself, but there's a camera in the way, so I reckon I'll be right. Yeah, apparently I can't use a craft knife. Yeah. So these come without bases. It's absolutely fine. I am well prepared. eBay, £3 for 30, I believe it was. Something along those lines. So you get some bubble wrapping just to protect it, which is always good. And then you get the models themselves. Now, we are going to take a look at them, but they all look like they're one piece. So I don't think I really need to do much. Oh no, there's a doctor's bag. Look at that, me giving you false information already. It's not uncommon, is it? The doctor's bag is separate because it goes on the base separate, just to clarify. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these one at a time. So I'm going to zoom in, get the white background in place so that, you know, the models themselves, you can see them. But yeah, back in a sec, guys. So we've gone with the doctor first. I don't know why I say get a white background in place. The green obviously shows up the miniature better because the miniature is metal coloured. With these models being a white metal, no less. So here's the doctor in question, obviously. And there is his bag, which I am now throwing. So let's get a look at that. So you can see there are a few mould lines on there. We'll need to attack this bad boy with a craft knife. But that's absolutely no problem at all. I don't mind. I've cleaned up metal models before. But for anybody who is new to this, it is something to bear in mind. They are quite mould line heavy. Bits of mud and crap all over me. Because, yeah. We'll have to sort that out. But a few little tabs and things like that. But this is the Investigator. Really, really nice model. This was one of the models that I actually wanted the set for. This and the Highlander. The rest I can get in plastics. The Vampire Hunter's really nice as well, though. But yeah, so I really like him. He has a very Doctor Who-y feel to him. And I feel if I was going to do a Doctor Who RPG at some point, like take part in one, I would probably use this as my model. I think he's got a really cool look. But yeah, we'll move on to the next model now. And the next model is the Vampire Hunter that I was talking about before. Now, he's armed with an axe, and he's armed with a mallet, which I would guess is, I mean, it's a veteran hunter, not a vampire hunter, force of habit. I mean, I am going to use him as a vampire hunter in some of the other games I play, such as Dracula's American. That's the game I was thinking of. because he's got a look that would work really nicely there. But yeah, so he's got a hammer, and he's got himself an axe. A lot of details. He's got the long hair. He's obviously got the top hat and the big duster. It's really, really cool. So next we're going to look at the Highlander, which, as I said, is another one that I really, really wanted this set for. The Highlander is one of the models that I'll be running in my starter warband or unit. And look at the beard on that bad boy. And then he's got, obviously, the big, heavy claymore weapon. He's got the bag. Obviously, he's got his kilt. Kilt's very, very important. No self-respecting Scottish Highlander would be without it. So here we go. He's on with a pistol. You can see there lots of chunks of flash, but chunks of flash are not a big problem at all. There's going to be a lot of cleaning up on these, if I'm honest, but that's okay. Here we have the rifleman. Again, he won't get used because I have plastic riflemen that are a bit more dynamic. I don't know how these are going to measure up in size, but I will certainly pop them next to each other and see. And here we have infantrymen there. Oh, this one, by the way, was the officer. Sorry, I completely forgot to mention that. But yeah, so there's your infantryman. And then the last one is your artilleryman. He's really, really good. So what I am going to do, as I said, they are mainly one piece, so I don't really need to. But I think what I will do is I will get them cleaned up, get them stuck on a base, maybe get the bases sanded and stuff, purely just for the purpose of being able to tell you how long it took to get it all sorted. Because it's all very well me going, oh, they're going to need a lot of cleaning up. But it's better if I can at least show you. Now, realistically, in an ideal world, I would get them painted. But you and I and everybody watching know far, far too well that that's not going to happen. Because I'm terrible with stuff like that. Currently, I've got about 17 different things sat on my painting desk, from a couple of commissions to some stuff for myself, stuff for some other people. So, yeah, these are probably going to get put on the back burner, except maybe that hunter, because he looks really, really cool. But yeah, guys, I'm going to take these away. I'm going to get some glue on them, going to get my files and some craft knives, clean them up, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at them all based up and things. All right, back in a second, guys. So, we are back, and bases are still drying on them, but otherwise, they're all cleaned up. Now, cons first, get them out the way. There was a lot of mould lines, there absolutely was. I had to use a file. There were some bits I couldn't get files into, so I had to use craft knives. However, that being said, as someone who's collected Games Workshop medals since 1993, 1994, it's nowhere near the worst I've ever had to clean up. And the whole thing, to do all 8 models, including the basing, took me about an hour. The basing in question is this. It's my basing of choice. Green Stuff World Ground Textures, the Middle-earth one. It's what I use for most of my historical, especially if I want it to be around Europe or Britain or things like that, because it gives a very good muddy kind of Middle-earth texture. It's probably why they named it that, if I'm honest. But yeah, so negative-wise, it was a bit of a clean-up. Now, positive-wise, they look fantastic. Proportionately sized, they are of similar size to these, which are the British riflemen that are War Games Atlantic, and I believe they're of similar size to the Napoleonics by Warlord. Sorry, I had a brain fart there, of which I've got some Prussians there and some Russians off to one side. So they are of similar scale. They're a bit chunkier, but I think I can get away with it, especially because the ones I'm going to be using are like your Highlanders and things like that. So they're not going to be like that rifleman, this guy here, next to my Sean Bean-esque rifleman. You can notice the difference. It's not so bad that you couldn't get away with it. Obviously, in real life, people are different sizes. I'm a pocket human. Vince is very tall. You know, we're all different. But yeah, I really like them. In terms of them, as you can see here, they're £24 normally. These are from Firestorm and they were £21.60. Now on top of that, you do have to factor in postage. And so then the postage was about £4, £5, something like that. So it does take it to around the 26, 27 mark. I don't know what the postage is to buy them direct from North Star, so it may still save you some money. I know you can get them other places, but Wayland and stuff like that were out of stock. Now, Wayland are really good in terms of anything over £20 is free postage anyway. So if you're happy to wait for them when Wayland get them back in stock, I think they're around the £21, £22 mark. So you'll get them with your free postage. You'll also earn some points and things like that. But that being said, they're really, really nice. I can't wait to throw some paint on them. I may actually do something painting-wise with the Veteran Hunter. Now that might either be a video separate, or I might just do a live stream on Instagram or something like that. We're planning on doing those back on the channel again. So, all in, I definitely think they're worth the price. I'm very excited to get going and mix them with my British Rifleman. I've already started collecting monsters of varying scopes and scales, including making my own revenants or zombies, as they're called for this game. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I really, really like the models. I definitely think if you guys are wanting to look into Silver Bayonet, which you should, it's really, really good. The actual sets that come with the game are pretty nice. You, of course, have got all kinds of other things. There's Perry miniatures, there's Warlord, there's Victrix. Obviously, we're very high on Victrix at the moment. They have some really good Napoleonic stuff. Now, a lot of it's very rank and file. So what we've been doing is we've been looking for things like cannon crews and stuff like that. So Victrix do some really nice cannons. Obviously, we're looking more at French for Sparks and English for myself. Maybe a few others if there's some others out there, because they give a dual function. Now, the functions of them are, one, you get slightly more posable models. So you're not in your rank and file, because obviously they've got loading hands and things like that. So it gives you a bit of dynamicness. You might have to do a bit of converting, but as modelers, especially small skirmish games like this, it's not really new to us. But the other thing is that it'll also give you some cannons, which you can use as scenery. Now, if you have a very sparse battlefield just because you're used to playing war games, this does require a lot more, or it can require a lot more scenery, especially to get full use out of the rules and things like that. So some cannons and things like that just to litter across your battlefield or to put on some wall emplacements really will add some cover, and it'll give a bit of diversity to your board. So yeah, Victrix are a good one for that. As I said, Warlord have a slew of Napoleonics, as do the Perry miniatures, as do other companies. I said North Star, for instance, have these. War Games Atlantic have some, not a lot, but they have some. As I said, I know they have 95th British Riflemen, and since everybody loves Sharp, I'm sure you're going to go and make your own versions of Sharp anyway. But yeah, guys, so thank you very much for watching as always. If it is your first time watching our channel, thank you very much for sticking to the end of the video. My voice can be pretty grating, I totally get that. But check out some of the other videos we have. We cover a wide range of topics. We do seem to be floating more towards a historical mindset, but that could be just because that's what Sparks and I are into at the moment. But we cover a lot. We cover Necromunda, Blood Bowl, Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40k, older games like Middle-earth is one, although that's getting a bit of a resurgence. On top of that, we do things like Mordheim. There's been Gorka Morka in the past. We cover other manufacturers. We're big fans of Mantic Games. So The Walking Dead, the Hellboy board game. I'm very excited for Halo when it comes out. Didn't get a free copy though, so we're going to have to buy them. That's absolutely fine. I don't mind throwing money at a company that I enjoy. Then on top of that, I said we've got a load of historical. We're big fans of Warlord. We cover a lot of TT combat stuff. We're very much fairly niche in terms of if it's a small, obscure game, we're fairly into it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all the usuals, comment down below, and thank you so much for watching. Pray dice gods, hope to smile upon you. Take care, bye.